A myth, a revolutionary, a prophet, a misunderstood teacher, or something else? Who is Jesus of Nazareth? Have you ever read the Gospels and felt confused by how some of them reacted to Jesus? Why did the Pharisees and Sadducees reject him? Why were they so outraged by his words and his deeds? If he was hated and rejected by the leaders, why did the people love him and follow him? Speaking of loving followers, if you love our content, make sure that you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, do share our videos with others who think would love our content. Now, while Jesus' public ministry might be complicated, it's nothing compared to the events of Holy Week. Why were some able to believe he was the Messiah while others thought of him as nothing more than a troublesome political revolutionary? Who was responsible for his death? How was he able to take on all that suffering? Was he just a great storyteller and teacher who died a tragic death? Or was he truly the Son of God who rose from the dead? Was there a deeper meaning behind the events that took place in the upper room, the Garden of Gethsemane and Calvary? If you've ever wondered about these questions, we have just the book for you. It's Jesus of Nazareth, Holy Week, from the entrance into the Jerusalem to the resurrection by Pope Benedict XVI. Jesus of Nazareth Holy Week is the second part of a 3-book series by Pope Benedict XVI on uncovering the message and figure of Jesus. In his book, he specifically examines the decisive events and sayings from Jesus' life. The different chapters cover various critical events like the entrance into Jerusalem and the cleansing of the temple, his end times discourse, the washing of the feet of the disciples, the Last Supper, the agony in the Garden of Gethsemane, and his passion, death, and resurrection. Instead of the typical life of Christ story, Pope Benedict XVI tries to answer the mysteries surrounding the most important week of Jesus' life. The book is simple and accessible for everyone, yet is theologically rich. Through this book, Pope Benedict XVI helps us understand what Jesus was trying to tell us about himself as the Son of God, about the kingdom of heaven, and how his followers should lead their lives according to his teachings by using biblical exegesis and the interpretation of the Church Fathers. For example, one quote from the chapter on the crucifixion and burial of Jesus goes like this: "In this double outpouring of blood and water, the Fathers saw an image of the two fundamental sacraments, Eucharist and baptism, which spring forth from the Lord's pierced side. From his heart, this is the new outpouring that creates the church and renews mankind. Moreover, the open side of the Lord asleep on the cross prompted the Fathers to point to the creation of Eve from the side of the sleeping Adam. And so in this outpouring of the sacraments, they also recognize the birth of the church, the creation of the new woman from the side of the new Adam." Tim Gray, a biblical scholar and president of the Augustine Institute, had this to say about the book: "What better guide could you find than Benedict XVI to lead you on the bracing adventure of exploring the historical Jesus and discovering, under the tutelage of this most sage successor to Peter, the inner meaning of Jesus' death and resurrection. Faith and reason are the two wings Benedict XVI takes up to lead us to astonishingly fresh spiritual perspectives and dizzying heights. This book often takes one's breath away while infusing in the reader the God-breathed word, which is the gospel." So, if you want a book that will not only help you to meditate on the most important events of Jesus' life on earth, but will help answer some of the more difficult questions about what Jesus said or did, then Jesus of Nazareth Holy Week is the book for you. And what better time to reflect on the events of Holy Week than during the season of Lent? Also, if you want to read more of Pope Benedict's reflection on Christ's life, check out the other parts of the Jesus of Nazareth series. One part covers the infancy narratives, while the other covers the events from Jesus' baptism in the Jordan to the Transfiguration. So, what do you think about this? Have you read this book before? Do you have any other spiritual reading recommendations? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, let us know by liking and subscribing to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Until next time.